Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? This is SCL0320 representing JVS. I'm back again for a spoiler-filled review for the movie Risen. It's coming out this Thursday. I just finished my non-spoiler review for it. Off the gate, I'm telling y'all, for me personally, this was an 8.5 out of 10 personally. But what I gave it for a critique standpoint was in between a 7.5 and an 8 out of 10. As far as movie is concerned, just from certain things that I didn't necessarily like as far as the spotting, or even like the pacing in the very beginning. But it was done really well. Like, it gave life and heart to the resonance of what Jesus means to me. Because a lot of people can look at some of the older films, even like Passion of the Christ, and you look at the sacrifice of Jesus, or you look at the other films where it shows like the life of Jesus and the things that he did and the miracles and just the extravagance of this amazing man. But then I feel like they never have gotten the ascension right. Like, I think that there's been high moments that you kind of felt that impactful moment, but in this film you get to see nothing but the end. Like, after Jesus has died, like when you are literally watching this film and Clavius, which is the Centurion, that is the person that has to oversee Jesus' body, per Pontius Pilate telling him, look, break the man's knees, this Nazarene needs to get taken out for this thing, and take care of the rest of the body. And he goes there and he's doing this, he's like breaking people's knees, and gets to him, and all of a sudden somebody shows up. I think that was John, or is it Joseph? I can't remember. But they go and stop him and like, look, please do this for us. Like, Pilate allowed you to say, put him in the tomb. And of course, the ones that wanted Jesus to die, they were like, no, don't do it, you know. And it's like when you actually are sitting there witnessing what happens, and through his eyes, he watched this man die. But the thing that I'll talk about as far as spoiler section is concerned is that I never thought of the person that would have to have watched and looked and try to find where this man's body was. Because the way that they handled the investigation is Pilate had told him, look, put a seal on the tomb. Like, so they had it literally wrapped in ropes and put the seal and everything up there. And like, they had these two guards that were getting drunk, they were sleep deprived. And it was kind of weird because you're like trying to figure out, well, what in the world is going on? And then when you find out the guards are gone, they've ran to the other group that really wanted them to they wanted them to burn the body, basically. And you find out they've kind of seeking sanctuary with that group. And then he goes to the investigation. He's like, these ropes weren't cut, they weren't burnt, they look like they've burst out. And then when you look at the actual, like the tomb, the boulder, it was broken to the side. It was like, there's no way. And in his conscious mind, he was like, how is this possible? And then when you actually look at the shroud, like, he had talked to one of the disciples, or one of the people that was going and picking up the body. I don't know if it was Mary Magdalene or if it was, I think it might have been Mary Magdalene. I can't remember who it was that actually came up. But they had said that all we did was just put incense and that's it. Like, but it was like literally, you could see the silhouette of the body and the face up there. And it was like, it was there. And so it was almost like it had burst out of there as well. And so it was such a rich scene that I definitely wanted to talk about that, because what foreseed that is like the Centurion who was going, and he had to go door to door, graves, he went and looked through. After 3 days, you know, a body decomposes. Like, they had took bodies and chucked them over after they had gotten done killing them. And it was like, there was no, you can't find the body anywhere. And nobody had it. Even when you had Mary Magdalene questioning her, she kind of gave like a really great quote to him. And it's like, you just don't understand what you're looking for. Like, you're looking for something, but you really don't understand what you're looking for. And he found it by the end of the movie, which is awesome. But what got me was one of the guards that lied. They were like they're telling him like somebody came and cut, like we didn't see anything, and he was asking him like, did somebody pay you to do this, you know? And he caught him in a lie when he said he wasn't drinking. But the other guy, this dude was getting lit. Like, he was so messed up, and I think that his acting performance was so on target, because he basically was like, look, this is what really went down. we got drunk, but we saw this blinding light, and the ropes busted, and the boulders busted, and it was like, it was gone. And he was like, you tell me, how is this possible? And it's like, from the Centurion standpoint, Clavius, he couldn't tell him anything. He told him, he's like, look, you were drinking, and he's like, you really think that was it, or was this real? And he just proceeded to keep drinking. I thought that was a really powerful scene, but one of the most powerful scenes to me was when the Centurion got into, when he basically found out that Jesus was alive. And they found the location, they got there, he went inside the door, and he saw Jesus on the cross dead. He looked, he was like, and then he just stepped back. And it was so impactful because he goes in there, he sits in there with him, and just starts to listen to this man interact. It's like it wasn't just that he saw a ghost, it was like, are you real? You know, and it was like he called him off by name, and then they basically was like, can you follow me? And he witnessed Jesus disappearing right in front of him. And this happened multiple different times. And what was one of the key things is that he proceeded to follow them out into the desert and get into the location where Jesus' final ascension was going to be. And it was a lot of different moments that were key, because I think that one moment, like Simon Peter was telling the group to go out and fish, and they couldn't catch anything. And then it wasn't until he looked to his right and he saw somebody walking on the beach line, he was like, yeah, fish now. Sure enough, all these tons of fish came out there, and then they ran out, and they knew it was Jesus. And it was just like so much joy. It was like they were continuously pursuing something that they knew was eventually going to lead them. And that, to me, symbolizes our relationship with God. Like, that we need to try to pursue. If you have an understanding or a comprehension of the love of God, or the resonance that there's something that's a higher power, or even like believing the miracles of Jesus, like you have to take into consideration that these men back then, they didn't know what was going on. They were experiencing it, and it was happening. And especially looking at it from Clavius's eye standpoint, he's like, dude, I can't be the same after this. Like, what am I supposed to do? And they were here with him longer, you know, and they were marked for life. And but yet they were still pursuing him. And I think that was the essence of the reason why he just wasn't completely gone. Like, they needed to understand that they needed to continue to pursue him so they could be able to renew and be able to learn and be guided. And from a Christian standpoint, for me, that meant the world, because it not just shows the brilliance and the excellence and the joy and the longing to groom and shape and teach, but it showed the empowerment and the grace of God, because he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to get them to have that understanding, dumbed down understanding that they could be able to have it in their bones and change and gravitate forever. Like, it was just like, it was like a zealot out there that people were spitting on, and he just went up and just healed them. It was just like, his disciples didn't say anything. They were like, he's going to go heal them. And sure enough, the Centurion looked, he's like, wow, what is this man, you know? And it was so many amazing sequences that, for me as a man of God, that I know that just like last year when I almost died from an accident, or when I almost got burnt, or when I almost had like some serious medical issues that happened to me, I know it was nothing but sureness of the grace of God that I'm here and talking to y'all right now. Like, my life in and of itself is a living testimony. Like, when I was born, like, I had the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck. And yet, and still, while this was happening, like, people were going in prayer. Like, my mom, before this happened, had prayed before even having me. And I know that people can say that's up for interpretation, it's coincidental, but for me, I know that my life is not my own. You know, like, I continuously have to shed off myself. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but for me, I know that I'm not perfect. I know that I'm overcritical. I know that I have terrible and demented thoughts that could lead to my own destruction, like, on a regular basis. And it's like, if you can't accept that, like, then you're cheating yourself, because it's true. Everybody has those kind of feelings and thoughts. It's not until I got the realization of a loving God that no matter what was going on, could be my father when my father couldn't be my father. Or when I'm not in a communication relationship that I can talk at any moment about my problems or be able to interact. Or even if I know that I'm losing or winning, that I can be able to give reverence to something that I know will be able to encourage, empower, and show and propel me where I need to go. That's what the relationship that these disciples had with Jesus. And it was shown so blatantly and well done that I think that it was the weight of this movie. Because if they had shown like these disciples as kind of like the normal kind of disciples, not, you know, all over and interactive, I think that it wouldn't have been as much heart. And I think that even from the movie standpoint, it serves from actually being comedic moments at times. Or even like really moments where it just stopped for a second and took in the weight of just what was said from a quote. And that's why I wanted to go see this movie more, because there's so many amazing quotes that I haven't even listed off or talked to y'all about. That's why I gave the movie an 8.5 out of 10. That's why I really loved it. And it is a movie, if you're a Christian, or even if you have a love for God, or even if you don't necessarily believe or understand what this Christian walk is about, or understand like what was the remnants of what, you know, the mark that Jesus had on civilization as we know it, then go see the movie. Because I think that from what you've seen in the past, from a movie standpoint, or from what you've read, like this will bring a whole different life and perspective to what Jesus can mean to the world, or to you, or to your situation, you know, just from the examples and the teachings, and just from what was interpreted through this man that was an agnostic person, you know, a warrior, a soldier at heart, you know, just killing folks, you know. So I think that it was really good. I think that they did a great job with it. Score was on target. I spoiled enough about this movie. Go and check it out. This is SEL0320 representing JVS. We ain't gonna stop, y'all. Love you, but Jesus loves you. So do I. Peace, y'all.